Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org with a video tutorial for the new Boston. In this tutorial we're going to look at an animation or effect in jQuery called delay. Now what this doesn't do is actually produce a specific effect, but it actually delays an in-between animations. So what we're going to look at is appending animations onto each other and putting delay in the middle to create a pause between them. So as an example, I'm going to create a button at the top of my page. Just to note, I've already included jQuery and effects in here, and effects is the file we're going to be working in. The first paragraph is just going to be a button, so I'm going to give this a type button, and I'm going to give this a value, just saying go, for example, and I'm going to give this an ID as well, so we can use an event handler to see when this has been clicked. I'm going to choose the name go. So in the second paragraph, this is just simply going to be some text. So I'm going to disappear. I don't think it's, yeah, okay, so disappear. In fact, I'm going to vanish would be better. And then what we're going to do is delay this for 3 seconds once it has, and then come back again. So we'll just write something like, I'll be back, did you miss me? Okay, so now let's go ahead and preview this on our page. You can see the text here that we've written. When we click go, this is going to vanish completely. It's going to fade out. We're going to be using the fade out function. It's going to delay for a specific amount of seconds and then fade back in again. So you can use delay between different functions to create a pause in between their execution. Okay, so inside effects.js, well, first of all we need to give an ID to this paragraph, and I'm just going to call it para. Inside effects we need to create a event handler for this button first of all. So we reference the button which is called go, and when the button has been clicked we need to carry out another function. So the code between this parenthesis here will be run when we click the go button. Okay, so now what we want to do is reference this paragraph, which I've called para. Inside of here, hash para, we want to fade out. So let's go ahead and test that in the browser and see if it's working. When I click go, that should fade, and it has. Now what we want to do is delay the execution for 3 seconds, for example, and then we want to fade back in. So instead of coming down here and re-referencing this, for example, para.fade in, which would work if we go back to the page and click go, you see it fades out and back in again. Instead of doing that, we can append these onto each other. So after the parentheses of the fade out function, we can use another dot, and then we can say fade in. And let's go ahead and test that in the browser. Click go, it fades out, and then straight back in again. Now what happens if we want to delay this effect for a specific amount of seconds? Well, embedded in between these two, and again appending this function on, we can use the delay function. And this takes a parameter with the number of seconds you want to delay for in milliseconds. So we could say 3000, which would equal 3 seconds. So by doing this, we're running the fade out function, which is setting the opacity of the element gradually to 0. Delay then holds this animation for 3 seconds, and then it will fade back in, back up to 100% opacity. So let's go ahead and refresh, click go. You'll see we wait about 1 to 3 seconds, and then it will fade back in again. So like I said, this delay function can be used with a variety of other functions and effects, and essentially just pauses in between animation effects in jQuery. So it's extremely useful when you want to perhaps delay the execution while some more text or some additional text goes into a paragraph, for example. If you were retrieving data from a database table and you wanted to fade the paragraph or a div or a span out, then put some say additional data into this paragraph or span or div, and then fade back in, you might want to use delay, because the process of retrieving data from a database might be time consuming, so you want to delay the animation while you perform background operations. So that's the delay effect in jQuery. Although it's not effect, it does work with animation.